something about the process. Next up, Lorenzo Gordon. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. This is British Williams' ex from Basketball Wives, and they also, if you don't remember, she was sentenced in December and went in on February for similar charges, and they also did marriage boot camp together. Gordon's admission of guilt in a PPP and an EIDL loan fraud scheme has led him to possible significant time in the slammer. Attorney Shatan Turner, talk to me. Now, this is what we understand right now on his case. He's got fraudulent application for government loans as a charge. He has wire fraud as a charge, bank fraud as a charge, money laundering as a charge. Who knew just by, I guess my question, who knew by just lying on an application to get a loan that it could lead to money laundering, bank fraud, and wire fraud? Can you explain to us why that is?
I wish Attorney Redwine was here because she would say like that commercial, he's going to jail, right? But yeah, so anyway, the you get all of those charges because this was a federal process, right? And so the lesson to algoriters is that when you choose to lie on governmental forms, there can be consequences. And the consequences are these multi-layered charges that he was, he's been accused of and that he pled guilty to. So the thing is that as we saw with the Mauricio from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills a couple of weeks ago, like they're going after people for these pandemic relief programs because the money was so easy to get that I think a lot of people lied and they thought they were going to get over for it. But there were restrictions on how they were supposed to get the money, right? It was supposed to be used for payroll. It was supposed to be used for other expenses for legitimate companies. It was not supposed to be used for fictitious companies. And so that's why he pled guilty, because once you start going that you were filling out a form for things that didn't exist, you knew you were lying. There's no argument that you weren't. And so it's unfortunate for him, but,
So what if, just hypothetically, when you're applying for a mortgage or when you're applying for a credit card and say, I may have said I made $1 million a year when I only made $550. I gotta be aware that if they can prove that that's a lie, that's fraud.
Right. I mean, so, I've said this before on the show. You have sex lies, you have videotape, you have cheating, you have lies, and then there's that line from like Citizen Kane, I think it is, where you have lies, damn lies, and statistics. Whenever you are lying and it's a governmental form, when you get caught, you are screwed. That is advice from me as a friend, algoriters. You can get a lawyer that can try to help you find some defenses, but the bottom line is you are screwed, because once the lie is proven, you have no defense. The law is actually harsher to people who lie than they are for people who do other types of intentional misconduct.
Okay, that makes sense. So what is he looking at? Like what's the, because the
10 years.
10 years?
10 years and 250,000 and or both.
And is that, let me ask this question. Could he negotiate to pay it back? If he gave the money back, would he still have to face the criminal and the criminal charges?
He's already pled guilty, so it is what it is.
Yeah. For him. And honestly, I feel like with these new, I mean, maybe they're not too new to the PPP loan fraud fiasco being unraveled. I feel like they're going to start with these bigger, notable celebrities like Mauricio, like him, and make an example out of them, because this is just the beginning of uncovering all the PPP fraud. I'm telling you, it's scammers and frauders and all the other things. Like PPP was a huge thing, but I think with these bigger cases that are coming out now, they're going to use them as an example because everybody else, it hasn't even been caught or addressed yet. These are just the big guys.
Speaking of